01-869-452 and 1-866-6775.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Radio Show, only on Financial News and Talk. Now live in studio, your host, local and national real estate expert and consumer advocate, Ron Siegel.
And hello again. Welcome to Ron Siegel Radio. This is the show with no real boundaries as we discuss current events, financial markets, politics, sports, even poking fun at the rest of the media. This is the show that connects the dots of confusion delivered by conflicting media reports. We connect the dots so you know the actions you can take, how your family or business can benefit from current events. Most of all, thank you for joining me. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message. I deliver it every day. We have a very focused show. We only chat about items that affect the roof over your head, your bank account, and anything I feel would benefit you. And let me remind you, if you ever have any home or finance-related questions, I am the consumer advocate looking out for you, and you can reach out to me directly, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Just remember, that's the number you call anytime for assistance. When you call that number, it comes directly to me first. There are no operators standing by. I am it.
Quiet, numbskulls. I'm broadcasting.
While I do have a great team when it comes to developing a financing plan, a plan to save you money, I personally work with you, even if you don't have any needs today. Save this number in your phone for future reference, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. And yes, of course, celebrating today, I like this one, National Leave the Office Early Day, National Rotisserie Chicken Day, okay, Rocky Road Day, we can go with that one as well. I'd like that idea also. Let's look at what the markets are doing this morning. We've been watching them, a lot of civil unrest. The markets have been shaking that off quite a bit. Dow Jones Industrial Average up right now 124.99. So we're seeing some good activity right there on the Dow. The Dow is a forward-leading indicator. I had a lot of people ask the question, why is it that the market would be up so much when we see all these negative headlines coming through? And the answer to that question is really quite simple. When the market realized that we were going to be taking a dive, the market did go down. That's what happens with the market. It is a forward-leading indicator. So we went down about 30%. About 6 weeks ago. Now the market is saying, okay, we're looking for that rebound. We anticipate that rebound. So we're going to be looking for the market to be heading upward. So that is the idea right there as why the market's up 130 points. The S&P 500 up 5 points right now. Now NASDAQ down 35. That's understandable as well, just because we've seen such a run up in the NASDAQ. If you've been watching some of the NASDAQ stocks, I mean, it's crazy what's going on right now. Unbelievable that what's happening in the NASDAQ market. I mean, when you look and see what stocks like Facebook have been doing and Tesla have been doing, some of these stocks are just going crazy. And, you know, something I have no problem with it. I invest in them, so I must mention that as well. But Apple, this morning, it's down $1.78. It was up a lot. Microsoft down 77 cents. Amazon down 16. Tesla at $886 a share. So when you start looking at some of those things, you start saying, okay, I get it. I understand why the NASDAQ can take a little bit of a break down 35. We'll see by the end of the day if that changes. Oil up 81 cents a barrel. That's a good number right there. But what is it doing for you and for me? $1.97.8 is the national average of a gallon of gasoline. Looking at $1.59.5 is the statewide best pricing. Mississippi has that. Calizuela, we're at $2.90.9 is the average of a gallon of gasoline right here in Calizuela. One of the highest in the land, but that's to be expected. We are generally one of the highest priced gases in the land. Hawaii, $3.18. That's probably the only state that might have higher priced gasoline than we have in Calizuela. Yeah, it's the highest next to Calizuela, Hawaii. We are the highest. We like to tax the heck out of ourselves. We like to pay as much as we possibly can. Let's take a look also at what the bonds are doing. 10-year treasuries are fairly flat. They're almost 1/10% higher this morning. Looking for interest rates, though, and we'll talk about more about this in the Mortgage Minute coming up in a little bit. But interest rates are looking very, very strong right now. And I'll tell you exactly what's going on making those interest rates look so strong. They're right there on the verge of a breakout bond up, rate down. So we're going to be continually watching that one for you. We do that all the time for our private clients. If you are not one of the private clients, shame on you. But you might want to get in on with our team and take a look at some of what's going on in these markets, because it is beneficial. It's interesting to know what's going on in the world, where the rates are projecting, what the charts are showing. We're in something that we call a pendant pattern, and generally the pendant pattern, when you break out of a pendant pattern, you break out strong in the prior direction. Prior direction was bonds up. So we are just a little bit above that 25-day moving average, which can be beneficial. Let's move on and see what's going on in the news right now. There is a lot of news right now, and we're just checking it out, keeping an eye on it. Most people don't want to hear the truth about the news, but we're going to tell it to you anyway. We like to tell you the truth about what's really going on. Unbelievable. All these protests, these cities that are basically saying, we can't control people, so we're going to call a curfew. Can you understand that after we've been locked up all this time? Now, because of some protesters, the mayors and police chiefs, and I would say mostly the mayors, basically say, we can't control it, so we're going to tell the law-abiding citizens, those people who stay home, those people who follow the law, we're going to ask them to stay home, put in a curfew. And if you're out on the streets, you have the potential of getting in trouble. And you wonder, why is all of this happening? And well, it's happening because the media wants it to happen. What are they showing you? They're telling you all about all these protests, and you get all these loons, these actors, actresses, athletes who basically have a very limited intellectual capacity. And I'm not talking about any race or anything along those lines. I'm just saying in general, a limited intellectual capacity. And they're not going to tell you the truth. So let me tell you what some of the truthful numbers are, because we've got thousands of people being displaced. We've got probably millions, maybe billions of dollars of damage being done. But nobody's giving you real information about this. So what is the issue? Because we continue seeing on the news that the issue is police brutality. Is there police brutality? Are black people being killed disproportionately? Are the police out there looking for this? Well, the answer is all a resounding no. Last year, 2019, there were 238 blacks killed by American police. 238. I don't condone it, but I'm just saying that's the number. There were 370 whites killed by police, 158 Hispanics. So add all that together, all the numbers, 1,004 police killings. There are 800,000 law enforcement officers. So you can see it's an infinitesimal amount of people killed by the police. That's number one, but you're not going to hear that on the news broadcast. Number two, out of the 800,000 law enforcement officers, you've got to figure 90% are looking out for you. No matter what group of people you take, you're going to have bad apples. It doesn't matter. When you take 800,000 people, there are going to be some bad apples in there. I submit that most police officers want the bad apples out more than you and I want the bad apples out. But 90% at least are looking out for you and me, doing their jobs in a responsible way. And I'm going to say I'm just using 90%. I think it's probably higher than that. But let's just say there's 10% are corrupt. That's an army of about 80,000. But overwhelmingly, the police do far more good than harm. That's the truth. Now the protesters who were sincere about improvement, I don't have any beef with them. We can always improve. So I don't have any beef with the other two. The other two groups? I do. Right? Who are the other two groups that I do have a beef with? Second group, they're the thugs and criminals who are using the terrible Minneapolis situation to steal, destroy, and hurt people. There are a lot of them. In fact, in Los Angeles, they cruise the streets in SUVs looking for soft targets, stores that are unguarded. They know that the LAPD doesn't have enough officers to cover the city. They have to go to the hot spots. In New York, it's a little bit different. We'll chat about that as well. So the thugs, the criminals, the thieves, the looters, there are a lot of them. They're out there and they do a tremendous amount of damage. They couldn't care less about social justice. Then the third group, there aren't as many of these looters. They are the destroyers, the Antifa, the people who hate America with a passion and want to tear it down, beginning with the police, because the police protect America. So they're the ones that want to defund the police. They want to disarm the police. They want to hurt the police. These are organized people, and like the thieves and looters, they use social media and they go to different places and they incite and they're violent and they'll kill you without conscience. Those are the three groups, and you can't tell one from the other sometimes because it's at night. Television cameras can't dissent. You know, there's no uniforms. So it's a very important thing to understand who's driving and pushing this. Now let's look at some stats. New York City, 786 arrests, 33 police officers are hurt, 24 protesters hurt, 47 police vehicles damaged or destroyed. In New York City, the police do have a handle on the situation despite those stats. In Los Angeles, they have no handle on the situation because we've got a weak mayor, Garcetti. Unbelievable. 533 people at least arrested, 6 LAPD officers injured, millions of dollars in property damage, as there is in New York. Not under control in Los Angeles. Chicago, again, not under control. Very weak city hall. We know that because of the tremendous murder rate in Chicago. 240 arrests. Last night, 19 people were killed, 63 others wounded, not in the demonstrations. But after most of those people went down as the drug gangs went wild, settling scores, killing people. Unbelievable. Half of the victims were involved with the drug gang mowed down. Dozens of Chicago police officers, they won't tell us how many, were hurt. Millions of dollars damaged. Philadelphia, another very weak city hall. 429 arrested, 20 officers hurt, millions of dollars in damage. Commonality here, do you see anything? The weak and more permissive of your city, the worse the demonstrations are. Do you see that going on? Minneapolis, the mayor there is a left-wing loon. He doesn't know what to do. They ran away. The city ran away when the protesters attacked a police station and burned it to the ground. So it's not an accident. The most permissive places in the country are the ones that are being targeted. The people who were arrested, 90% of them, nothing will happen to them. Washington, D.C. Now, this is really a sad story. Violence centered around the White House. 60 Secret Service agents injured. 60. 35 arrested. That's all. D.C. police did not arrest many at all. When the injured police officers outnumber arrests 2-1, you got a problem. But you're not seeing those numbers come out in the media. They're not going to tell you that, are they? You have to tune in to Ron Siegel Radio to get the real numbers about what's happening in these protests, with these loons. You are listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate current events and the financial markets. When we come back, home prices, it's all about supply and demand. Ways to build your credit without a credit card, how to prepare for a recession like the Great Lockdown, 2020 tax deadline, it's been extended. Here's what you need to know, all that and more. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Connect with us. Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio, on Twitter @Ron Siegel. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, shame on you. But the replay is available, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
In the middle of our streets, my house. In the middle
Are
of
you
our...
running a safe, secure, temp buster? Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investment? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Did you know that banks and credit bureaus are rewarded financially if you have bad credit? And the worse your credit score is, the more money they can make off of you? How does that make you feel, knowing that banks are getting rich off of your hard-earned money? How does it make you feel, knowing that if a bank or a credit bureau makes a mistake on your credit report, they benefit from it and it hurts you? The Fair Credit Report Act of 1971 requires banks and credit bureaus to report only accurate information. 100% of all credit reports are inaccurate. If you're sick and tired of being broke and tired of being robbed by the banks, you owe it to yourself and to your family to call Rondi. Rondi is a FICO certified credit professional and has helped thousands of people just like you get out of debt and establish great credit. Rondi's number is 855-608-1990. Again, that's 855-608-1990. Or visit creditsanitizer.com. Again, that website is creditsanitizer.com.
Are you a veteran, own a home, and need money? The Siegel Lending Team is here to help veterans refinance and get the money they need. The VA 100 lets you borrow up to 100% of your home's value, refinance your mortgages, consolidate credit cards, and lower your payments by an average of $700 a month. And the Siegel Lending Team knows that character means more than a credit score. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Rates subject to change without notice. Licensed by the California Department of Corporations, NMLS 21037, and DRE number 0186945.
Are you a veteran, police officer, firefighter, doctor, nurse, or teacher? If so, you qualify as one of Ron Siegel's VIP heroes, and we have rewards up to $5,000 or $10,000 when you buy, sell, or refinance a home with one of the Ron Siegel radio partners. As one of the heroes, real estate agents will rebate part of their commission, lending partners will give a credit at closing. The title company has special published rates, and many other service providers have incentives too. All you need to do is call Ron Siegel Radio at 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit VIPHeroProgram.com. Just think about what you will do with all the rebates and incentives from the partners of Ron Siegel Radio. Just call us at 800-306-1990 so we can show you our appreciation for your service.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Mortgage Minute today being brought to you by your friends at Gold Star Mortgage. When you're ready for that next mortgage, Gold Star has the programs and the products. You just need to make the call, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Again, the markets, let's take a look at them. The Dow Jones Industrial Average up 144 points. NASDAQ down 21 points. S&P 500 up 1142. The 10-year Treasury up 2 basis points. Mortgage-backed securities, they're breaking out. They're up 9 basis points, which means interest rates are down just a little bit, but we're watching those because it looks like we could see some benefits coming there, watching that market closely for you. What's happening? What's causing all this? Well, we're going to tell you all about it. Again, the stocks are focusing on the economy reopening rather than the civil unrest. And if you missed my opening monologue that I just shared a lot of information and statistics, right? Everybody can talk about all they want about what's going on in the civil unrest. The statistics tell you a lot as well. We shared them with you. They are right there. If you missed that, shows posted. On the housing front, CoreLogic released their home price index appreciation report for April, showing that home prices rose 1.4% from March to April on a year-over-year basis. Home prices were up 5.4%, up from 4.5% the previous report. CoreLogic forecasts that home prices will rise 0.3% from April to May, but they do expect prices to fall 1.3% in the year going forward, the first decline in their data in 9 years. Just remember, though, those are national numbers. Those may not be the local numbers. Talk to a local real estate professional or give us a call. We'll give you that information right here on Ron Siegel Radio. Mortgage Bankers Association reported that the number of loans now in forbearance increased from 8.3% to 8.46% as of May 24th. Figure appears to be cresting. It's not going up nearly as quickly as it was. According to the National Association of Realtors, 65% of people who attended an open house within the last year would do so now without hesitation. This speaks to buyers getting a bit bolder and may support demand. We'll talk about that in the next segment. Tomorrow kicks off the jobs data with the ADP employment rate report, expected to show a loss of 8.6 million jobs. Fed's going to be buying $4.5 billion in mortgage-backed securities today, which has been the range they've been purchasing in and has done a good job of supporting prices. Mortgage bonds have started to break out of their tight range to the upside. If they can confirm the break above the 25-day moving average, there is a lot of room to the upside. Continue carefully watching those numbers if that is what you like to do. If you don't like to do it, then hire somebody to do it. That's kind of what we do for the private clients at Ron Siegel Radio. Just give us a call. We'll be happy to talk to you about that, see how we might be able to help you. That is the Mortgage Minute, again, brought to you by your friends at Gold Star Mortgage. Again, give me a call at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. We'd be happy to put you in touch with the team, see where you are. You might have the greatest program in the world, and the team is happy to tell you exactly that. They're not looking to try and cause any commotion. Just want to give you the best possible guidance that might be out there. And I'm going to put this chart up just so you can see I'm going to try at least to put the CoreLogic chart up so you can actually see what's going on there as well. So we got to stop one screen share, start another screen share, get that up there. And that gives you the data that we were just talking about a minute ago, showing you what the forecasts are. This is again from CoreLogic. So that's their data, just came out this morning. We like to share as current data as we can possibly get you. Again, we just give you the stats. You can make the decisions. You make the calls on what makes sense for you and your family. So we got a 2020 tax deadline coming up. If you recall, the tax deadline was moved based on the coronavirus. The traditionally tax season has a deadline of April 15th, but it's been easy for me to say, extended to July 15th due to COVID-19. What does that mean for you and your taxes? Well, we've got the information for you. According to the IRS, the tax deadline extension applies to individual returns as well as corporate and trust returns. And because the extension is automatic, you don't have to fill out any additional forms to qualify. Also, keep in mind is that this tax deadline extension is for federal taxes. State taxes, on the other hand, might have some different deadlines. So being that we are broadcasting in many, many states now, make sure you check your state to make sure that you're getting the right information. If you're a freelancer, do you own a business? That means you'll have to make quarterly estimated tax payments this year, according to the IRS website. The deadlines, January 1st through March 31st, your deadline is July 15th. If your payment period April 1st to May 31st, your deadline is July 15th, same date. If your payment period was June 1 to August 31, your tax deadline is September 15. If your payment period was September 1 to December 31, your deadline is January 15, 2021. If you're a bit behind on filing your taxes this year, the good news is you have a bit more time. Here are some things you should do before the July 15th tax deadline comes around. If you haven't already, now's the time to get all your documents in one place. And yes, we mean everything. When it comes to your taxes, you don't want to leave anything out. It could cause a huge headache later on. Make sure you have the following: personal information for both you and your dependents, income and investment documents, medical bill receipts, business and self-employment records, charitable donations, home ownership records. Taxes are not easy and they can take a lot of time. If you don't have a whole afternoon to dedicate to doing your taxes, you might want to hire a professional to do them for you. It could be nice to have someone who has a sound understanding of tax rules and regulations to take care of your taxes for you. But if you can't fit the expense of hiring a professional in your budget, you can definitely do your taxes yourself. A lot of people file their taxes themselves. Luckily, there are a lot of tools out there that will help you. You're going to generally get it wrong, even with those tools. But I just share that with you, even though, I talk to a lot of CPAs and professionals. You tend to get them wrong. So that's just a point for you. No matter how much you'll get in your tax return, it can't hurt to have a plan for how to use it. Due to the financial uncertainty of COVID-19, it couldn't hurt to put a good amount of your tax return in savings. And since unemployment is on the rise, it could be a nice cushion to fall back on if you find yourself without a job. Your tax return could also come in handy if you have major bills to pay. No matter how you decide to use your tax return, make sure you use it in a way that's useful to you. Bottom line, take advantage of the 2020 tax deadline extension. It's not an excuse to put off your taxes later, but a great opportunity to give yourself a little more time to complete your taxes. If you want to learn more about how COVID-19 can impact your finances, well, give us a call at 800-306-1990. We'd be happy to give you whatever information we can, put you in touch with the professionals that know how to handle these things, because you are listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, home prices, it's all about supply and demand, ways to build your credit without a credit card, how to prepare for a recession, like the Great Lockdown. All that and more. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Connect with us, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio, on Twitter at Ron Siegel. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1, Ron Siegel, the number 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Siegel Lending Team offers you buying power. Let's say you can afford a monthly mortgage payment, including principal and interest, of around $1,900. With today's rate on a 30-year fixed mortgage of 3.75%, APR 3.85%, that payment could support a $416,000 mortgage. But if you wait and rates tick up to around 6.5%, which is roughly the average home mortgage rate over the past 30 years, that same $1,900 mortgage payment, including principal and interest, may only be able to support a $314,000 mortgage. That's over $100,000 worth of homes you're missing out on by waiting. That's buying power. All you need to do to get started is reach out to the Siegel Lending Team at 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Payment example excludes taxes and insurance. Call us for full details. 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990 or SiegelLendingTeam.com. Equal housing lender. Licensed under NMLS number 217037.
Are you purchasing or own a luxury home? If you're like so many others, your home is your largest asset and the mortgage is your largest debt. The Siegel Lending Team has some amazing financing opportunities right now. Jumbo loans up to $2 million, 30-year rates below 4%, 15-year rates near 3.5%, and if you can believe it, 7-year interest-only hybrids in low 3s. The Siegel Lending Team has all the options for your jumbo or second home loan requirements. Take advantage of them while you can. To learn more about all the other financing products available from the Siegel Lending Team, call 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Again, call 1-800-306-1990. Rates subject to change without notice. Licensed by NMLS ID 217037 and 145502. Equal housing lender.
Homeowners that are 62 and older are about to find out a great way to live a better retirement. It's called a reverse mortgage, and SLT can help you learn more. Call the Siegel Lending Team at 800-306-1990 right now to receive your free booklet with no obligation. It answers questions like how a reverse mortgage works, how much you qualify for, the ways to receive your money, and more. When you call the experts at Siegel Lending Team today, you'll learn the benefits of a government-insured reverse mortgage, how it will eliminate your monthly mortgage payments, and give you tax-free cash from the equity in your home. Here's the best part. You still own your home. Now is the best time to take control of your retirement. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990 to get your free brochure. Call today or visit our website at SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Or simply call 800-306-1990.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The real-time real estate segment today being brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Text SLT Home Digest to 79564. Find your dream home before someone else does. You'll find out there what the county recorder knows about your property. You'll find out there what the market believes about your property. And it's free. SLT Home Digest to 79564. Home prices, all about supply and demand as we enter the summer months and work through the challenges associated with the current health crisis. Many are wondering what impact the economic slowdown will have on home prices. Looking at the big picture, supply and demand will give us the clearest idea of what's to come. Making our way through the month of June and entering the second half of the year, we face an undersupply of homes on the market. Keep in mind, this undersupply is going to vary by location and by price point. According to the National Association of Realtors, across the country, we currently have a 4.1 month supply of homes on the market. Historically, 6 months of supply is considered a balanced market. Anything over 6 months is a buyer's market, meaning prices will depreciate. Anything below 6 months is a seller's market where prices appreciate. The graph I'm showing on our screen right now shows inventory across the country since 2010 in months of supply for homes. And you can see that back in 2010, we had about 8.5 months supply. Right now, we're looking at about 4.1 months. So we've seen dramatic drops over the last 10 years. Robert Dietz, chief economist for the National Home Builders Association, says, and I quote, "As the economy begins to recover later in 2020, we expect housing to play a leading role. Housing enters the recession underbuilt, not overbuilt. Estimates vary, but based on demographics and current vacancy rates, the U.S. may have a housing deficit of up to 1 million units," unquote. Given the undersupply of homes on the market today, there is an upward pressure on prices. Looking at simple economics, when there is less of an item for sale and the demand is high, consumers are willing to pay more for that item. The undersupply is also prompting bidding wars, which can drive price points higher in the home sale process. According to a recent Market Watch article, I quote, "As the buyers return to the market, as the country rebuilds from the pandemic, a limited inventory of homes for sale could fuel bidding wars and push prices higher," unquote. In addition, experts forecasting home prices have updated their projections given the impact of the pandemic. The major institutions expect home prices to appreciate in 2022. Again, I'm sharing a chart updated as of earlier this week, notes these forecasts. As the year progresses, we may see these projections revised in a continued upward trend. Given the lack of homes on the market, this could drive home prices even higher. And you can see on there what the projections are from the Mortgage Bankers Association, from Zelman and Associates, Fannie Mae, National Association of Realtors, and Freddie Mac. Many may think home prices will depreciate due to the economic slowdown from the coronavirus, but experts disagree. As we approach the second half of this year, we may actually see home prices rise even higher given the lack of homes for sale. That's the real-time real estate segment, again, brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Text SLT Home Digest to 79564. Find your dream home before someone else does. SLT Home Digest gives you all the information you need about that home that you're looking at, or maybe the home that you're in, and it gives you the information you need to make decisions, make good decisions on where you want to live in the future, what your home needs are. It's all right there. SLT Home Digest, again, 79564. We're constantly watching what these markets are doing for you. I shared with you a little bit in the morning in the Mortgage Minute today about watching what the markets are doing, about watching for this breakout. And it does appear that we might be seeing a bit of a breakout in the mortgage-backed securities. Now, they were up a little bit, they're down a little bit, but we're still looking at that same chart that has us staying right above that 25-day moving average. We closed above it. We're sitting on it right now. And the likelihood is if we can stay above that 25-day moving average, we might see some good interest rate movement. Might be big benefit for you. Again, get your information in so we can take a look and see what makes sense for you and for your family. There are a lot of data out there that you can look at all the time. Again, just give us a call at 800-306-1990, and we'll take a look at that for you. You are listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, 9 ways to build credit without a credit card, how to prepare for a recession like the Great Lockdown, all that and more. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. And remember, we're here for you. All you got to do, again, is give us a call at 800-306-1990. We'll be back in just a few.
Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area-trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Most businesses struggle to get the online reviews they need to get a competitive edge over their competition. Rex is a brand new technology that uses text messages to direct happy clients to your online review sites, Zillow, Google, Facebook, and Yelp, and unhappy clients to a private survey, so businesses can win more customers. Try Rex today by going to www.meetrex.com.
Are you currently renting a home? Do you like paying someone else's mortgage payment? Why not explore the options to purchase your own home? Can you imagine a 30-year fixed-rate loan below 4.25% APR? This means with $10,500, you can purchase a $295,000 home and have a principal and interest payment of about $1,400 per month. What are you paying in rent? Does your family deserve the opportunity to take advantage of the current market? To learn more about these exciting opportunities, the Siegel Lending Team is standing by to speak with you. Call now, 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Or 1-800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by NMLS ID 217037 and 145502. Equal housing lender. Not endorsed or sponsored by any government agency.
Do you have a goal of mortgage-free home ownership? What if your home was valued at $500,000? Are you aware that a free and clear home could be costing you $2,500 every month, $30,000 per year? The mortgage planners at the Siegel Lending Team would like to show you how you can own your home, generate tax-free income, and accumulate family wealth. You simply need to call the Ron Siegel Team at 1-800-306-1990. That is 1-800-306-1990. By sending the team a copy of your most recent mortgage statement, the team will send you a no-obligation real estate plan. You be the judge if this is right for your family. Again, all you have to do is send the team a copy of your mortgage statement by email to reap@ronsiegelradio.com or call today. Ron Siegel, 1-800-306-1990. That is 1-800-306-1990.
Subject to change and without notice. Licensed by the California DOC and BRE NMLS 217037 and 145502 and Cal BRE 01869452 and 1866775.
Siegel Lending Team offers you buying power. Let's say you can afford a monthly mortgage payment, including principal and interest, of around $1,900. With today's rate on a 30-year fixed mortgage of 3.75%, APR 3.85%, that payment could support a $416,000 mortgage. But if you wait and rates tick up to around 6.5%, which is roughly the average home mortgage rate over the past 30 years, that same $1,900 mortgage payment, including principal and interest, may only be able to support a $314,000 mortgage. That's over $100,000 worth of home you're missing out on by waiting. That's buying power. All you need to do to get started is reach out to the Siegel Lending Team at 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Payment example excludes taxes and insurance. Call us for full details. 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990 or SiegelLendingTeam.com. Equal housing lender. Licensed under NMLS number 217037.
Are you purchasing or own a luxury home? If you're like so many others, your home is your largest asset and the mortgage is your largest debt. The Siegel Lending Team has some amazing financing opportunities right now. Jumbo loans up to $2 million, 30-year rates below 4%, 15-year rates near 3.5%, and if you can believe it, 7-year interest-only hybrids in low 3s. The Siegel Lending Team has all the options for your jumbo or second home loan requirements. Take advantage of them while you can. To learn more about all the other financing products available from the Siegel Lending Team, call 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Again, call 1-800-306-1990. Rates subject to change without notice. Licensed by NMLS ID 217037 and 145502. Equal housing lender.
Homeowners that are 62 and older are about to find out a great way to live a better retirement. It's called a reverse mortgage, and SLT can help you learn more. Call the Siegel Lending Team at 800-306-1990 right now to receive your free booklet with no obligation. It answers questions like how a reverse mortgage works, how much you qualify for, the ways to receive your money, and more. When you call the experts at Siegel Lending Team today, you'll learn the benefits of a government-insured reverse mortgage, how it will eliminate your monthly mortgage payments, and give you tax-free cash from the equity in your home. Here's the best part. You still own your home. Now is the best time to take control of your retirement. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990 to get your free brochure. Call today or visit our website at SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com, or simply call 800-306-1990.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Your Credit Matters segment today being brought to you by CreditSanitizer.com. You have a credit report. It is wrong. What are you doing about it? Credit Sanitizer has these solutions. You just need to make the call again, 800-306-1990. Ways to build credit without a credit card. Number one, there are many, many ways, but what if you don't want a credit card, having trouble qualifying for a credit card? There are plenty of other options to build a strong credit history. Here are 9 options for building credit without a credit card. Number one, authorized user status. Authorized user status is a great way to begin building credit as long as you and the primary cardholder are on the same page. As an authorized user, you can use the primary cardholder's credit card and piggyback off their credit card activity. Even if you never use the card activity can still be used to positively impact your credit. You'll want to verify with the credit card company that they report card activity for authorized users. Otherwise, you'll be wasting your time. This method comes with some risks, though. Your credit report will reflect how the card is used, even if you're not the one using the card. If you or the primary cardholder racks up an excessive balance or misses payments, that activity could end up damaging your credit instead of helping it. Only become an authorized user if you are both committed to practicing smart credit building habits. Number 2, credit builder loans. Credit builder loans aren't widely publicized, but they're a great way to build credit without a credit card. Smaller institutions like credit unions are generally more likely to offer credit builder loans specifically to help borrowers build credit. Typically, you borrow a small amount, which is put into a CD or savings account and held until the loan is paid off. You make payments for a set amount of time until the loan is paid. At that time, you can access the funds, including any interest earned from the savings account. And if you made all your payments on time, you've been successfully building your credit all along. These loans often have low interest rates and are accessible to those with poor or non-existent credit. That's because you provide all of the collateral for the loan in cash, so it's not a risk for the lender. Credit builder loans aren't great if you need the money, since you need to pay off the loan before you can actually access the funds. But if you have time to build up your credit, they're a great place to start. Third, passbook or CD loans. Similar to credit builder loans, passbook or CD loans are offered by some banks to existing customers using the balance they already have in a CD or savings account. You build credit as you pay down the loan, and you can access your balance once the loan is paid off. These are very similar to credit building loans, but they use funds you already had in savings as collateral. Interest rates are typically much lower than credit cards or unsecured personal loans as well. Make sure your bank will report payments to the 3 major credit bureaus before opening this type of loan. Number 4 is peer-to-peer loans. They're made by an individual investor or groups of investors instead of traditional financial institutions, with the accrued interest going back to the investors. While they may sound sketchy, P2P loans are completely legitimate and can be set up through reputable P2P service like Lending Club, unlike borrowing money from your cousin. P2P loans will typically accept borrowers with lower credit scores than traditional lenders, but their credit requirements and interest rates will vary depending on the lender, and their rates and fees may be higher than other personal loans. Before you take out this type of loan, ask whether the service reports your timely payments to the credit bureaus so you can get a positive impact on your score. Number 5 is federal student loans. If you're a student looking to build credit, you may consider a federal student loan. Most federal student loans do not require any credit history. Private options, on the other hand, often require good credit scores or a cosigner. Do not take on student debt just to build your credit, but if you're already considering a student loan, they could be a good way to get started. Federal student loans show up on your credit report, and if they're paid on time, they can help you build a positive payment history. Number 6 is personal loans. Some lenders offer unsecured personal loans to individuals with no or bad credit. These involve borrowing a fixed amount of money and making fixed payments every month. If you don't have an established credit history, you'll likely be charged a higher interest rate. You may be able to get a cosigner to help your odds of approval for lower rates. Don't bother with payday loans. These will help you establish credit history, and they will not help you establish credit history and will just end up costing you money in the long run. Alternatives like op loans do report payment history to the credit bureaus, but their rates are typically higher than personal loans. Auto loans. Most traditional auto loan dealers report all your payments to the credit bureaus, and since auto loans are secured by the vehicle, they're generally going to be at a little cheaper rate. Mortgages. Getting a mortgage with no credit history is difficult, but not impossible. If your goal is to just start building credit, a mortgage may not be the best place to start, but if you're ready for home ownership and the possibility of building your credit with a mortgage, you have options. First-time home buyers may consider FHA mortgage, for example, which is available to individuals with a thin credit file. Smaller lenders like credit unions tend to be more flexible and may help you qualify for a mortgage as well. Your credit score may take a hit when you first assume a huge debt, but it'll rise over time with regular monthly payments. Concentrate on making those payments on time to continue building your credit. Number 9, most credit is rent. Most credit reports do not contain entries regarding your rent payments simply because landlords do not bother reporting that activity. But credit bureaus will likely incorporate timely rent payments into your credit report if that information is submitted to them. If you're evaluating a rental, if you're currently renting, ask the landlord if they will report your rent payments. You might also be able to use online rent payment applications to ensure this information is reported. Just a few different tools for you to help you build credit without a credit card. That's the Your Credit Matters segment. Again, brought to you by creditsanitizer.com. So we often talk about recessions and planning for some different downturns or uncertainty. And no one can really predict when a recession will hit, but data shows that the U.S. experiences recessions on average every 3 years. Are we due? Are we there? We might already be there. There's a lot of folks that simply say that we are probably already in the recession. And the likelihood is that there's not a whole lot of question about that. Why would I say there's not a whole lot of question about it? Well, recession is defined as 2 consecutive quarters with a negative GDP. Well, based on the pandemic, you can almost bet that we had our first negative quarter already. And by definition, we only need one more. So that'll get us right where it would be as the definition. A lot of times you don't even know you're in a recession until it's done. 5 steps you should take to prepare for a recession. Number 1, pay down your debts. Number 2, build up your savings. Number 3, adjust your portfolio allocations. Number 4, reduce expenses. And number 5, improve your marketable skills. So let's talk about each one of those just a little bit. Number 1, pay down your debts. That's always a good idea, paying down your debts, especially high interest debts like credit cards. When a recession hits, you don't want to be burdened by interest on old debts. Use the credit card payoff calculators that are available. Number 2, build up your savings. The next most important way to prepare for a recession is build up your savings. Experts recommend having at least 3 to 6 months worth of savings on hand in case of an emergency. If you get laid off during a recession, you still need money to keep yourself and your family afloat until you find a new job, which unfortunately will be more difficult during a recession. Keep in mind the recessions last on average a year and a half. If you're in a fraud industry or are otherwise concerned about a recession hitting you hard, try to save up at least a year and a half's worth of expenses so you can ride out the recession if necessary. Takes a while to build up that much savings, so start now. During a recession, stock markets will fall. To financially prepare for a recession, adjust your investment portfolio before it hits. The key to adjusting your portfolio for a recession is to determine your risk tolerance. Keep an eye on the big picture and avoid making knee-jerk reactions to a volatile market. Once you know how much risk you're willing to take, there are a lot of ways you can diversify your portfolio to protect your money and yourself. Be sure to talk to a financial advisor before making changes to your investments. Again, give me a call at 800-306-1990. I do not do financial advising anymore, but I can certainly introduce you to some folks that do know it. Diversify your 401k and other investment accounts. Investing too heavily in stocks during a recession can devastate a 401k. If you're risk adverse, considering adjusting your portfolio to invest more in bonds, keeping in mind how much time you have before retirement. Invest wisely in companies with strong portfolios and histories. Invest in consumer staples like utilities, healthcare, and other consumer goods will still be needed during a recession. Generally considered good investment options. Like any other investment, though, don't invest too heavily in a single sector. Open a money market account or other insured savings account. The return on money markets isn't as high as other investments, but the risks are lower as well. Money markets are insured and often come with higher interest rates that other than savings accounts. They require higher deposits, but you can access the money whenever you need it, unlike a CD. Number 4 is reduce your expenses. Living within your means is always a good financial sense. Whether you're preparing for a recession or not, create a budget that helps you prioritize building your savings, paying down debts, spending your money on the rest of things. Improve your marketable skills is another good one. No matter how well you prepare, you can't anticipate what will happen if a recession hits. Do what you can now to improve your skills and network with other industry professionals. You want to better your chances of keeping your current job or getting a new one by demonstrating your worth now. What does a recession mean for your credit score? Well, a recession itself won't necessarily affect your credit score. How you prepare for a recession might. The biggest risk to your score is later missed payments. Your payment history accounts for 35% of your credit score. So you should prioritize paying all of your bills on time and in full whenever possible. It may also be difficult to keep your credit utilization low if you've been hit hard by a recession. Try not to rely too heavily on your revolving lines of credit and keep your utilization below 30%. If a recession causes you to start using your credit cards more or less regularly, your issuer may enact a financial review. A financial review could suspend your ability to spend or even shut down your account entirely. So just be careful of a credit card being your solution to that emergency fund, because it could be a problem for you. Just beware. And as always, I ask you, set that first radio preset button to come back here and join Ron Siegel Radio, where we only speak about items affecting your house and your bank account. Thanks to all of our sponsors. Big thanks to John, who's engineering us today. And of course, a special thanks to you for spending a little bit of your day with us. That's all for Ron Siegel Radio. Again, if you have any questions or to meet any of our guests, call me anytime, 800-306-1990. 800-306-1990 or ronsiegelradio.com. And remember, make a lot of money so you can help a lot of people and have a lot of fun. Have a great day. We'll talk to you next time on Ron Siegel Radio.